Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest Godzilla Podcast. Now that we're several weeks into the Godzilla film being released, more and more people are seeing the film, which is good. We definitely want the box office to go up. But the more people that see it, especially those that happen to write articles on the internet, the more, news or topic-worthy stuff that they're discussing with regards to the Godzilla 2014 film. Case in point is a new trend that I'm seeing with regards to a particular theme on the film, and it's interesting because this was not there a couple of weeks back, but just last week this is when the stuff is starting to pick up. It's the idea of was the Godzilla film essentially too sexist? And what I mean by that is various articles that are out there, and I'll include one here from ScreenRant.com, cite the fact that the film itself, a lot of people are focusing on, it has three main lead characters, all of them though are males, and then it has three female characters. There are big names in and of themselves, that of course being Julia Binoche, Elizabeth Olsen, and then Sally Hawkins. However, the female roles that were within the film are pretty much all there either as a plot device or as an accessory of some sort. Again, don't kill the messenger here. I'm just stating what people are stating on their comments, on their articles with regards to this theory. Take, for example, Elizabeth Olsen's character. She is considered by many to be the most blatant example of it, where instead of having a strong female lead within the film itself, instead of going in that direction, rather they make her almost the damsel in distress in the film, and have her essentially in scenes either comforting Aaron Taylor-Johnson's main character or worrying about Aaron Taylor-Johnson's main character, and that's it. That's pretty much the extent of her abilities, is what they're stating on there. And then for a plot device, they point to Julia Binoche's character, who of course met that unfortunate demise at the beginning of the film. I still think it was very impactful, but other people are seeing it differently. They're seeing it as a ploy to give men, in this case Bryan Cranston's character, and then later on Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character, as a means to explore her death, as a motivation essentially to explore her death, especially on Cranston's part. And that in turn makes up the plot device that they're talking about. And then with Sally Hawkins' character, they call her an accessory because all she is there for is pretty much just to look worried, along with Ken's character, and look worried for Ken's character in the film. I believe she talked, or like she had a little brief interaction. It was during that scene where they were talking about setting the nuclear explosion there in that office during that briefing, and that's what I guess her main her main set of dialogue was from, but that's about it. And so they're pointing to that example where the Godzilla film is not necessarily blatantly sexist, but it definitely is not helping towards thinking that it's not a different way on there, because of, again, how it treats the female leads. Interestingly enough, Gareth Edwards has actually responded to this criticism. He hasn't responded to anything else regarding, let's say, the idea that Godzilla is so late coming out in the film. I mean, he's given quotes from it, but he hasn't directly responded as a critique on those things, nor has he responded to the idea that the infamous now cutaway shots there. But he has responded to this theme again, that the Godzilla film doesn't necessarily put women on the front central forelight. And this is what he says with regards to it, and this is why it's very interesting. He said, "We actually had a version of the screenplay that had a heroine in the film, but you've got to pick a hero, and we ended up with a male, and then everything supports the hero in some way." So that's a big bombshell right there, because it looks like at one point the Godzilla film was going to have either a big female lead in conjunction with Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character, or Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character was actually gonna be a female. Much like along the lines of, say, the Resident Evil or the Alien films or the Silent Hill films and so on and so forth. So personally, I think that would have actually made the film far more, I guess the word I'm looking for, suspenseful, and far more where you're rooting for somebody if the lead for the entire movie would have been actually a female. Because imagine if the roles were reversed, where now we have a female lead. She's again the daughter of Cranston's character, and let's say she has a son. It would make, I don't know, it would make much more sense. Definitely the plight of her to try to get back home, to try to make sure her son is safe, and then also with regards to, let's say, her predicament just being there in the military. It seemed like Aaron Taylor Johnson's character got a quick pass wherever he went, with regards to getting on the ship, then getting on the helicopter, then getting on the train. But imagine her plight if, let's say, she was trying to do that and everybody was looking at her skeptically, like, what can you do? And then she proves them wrong. I mean, that would have made something far more, far more impactful in my opinion. Interesting though, that the route that they could have gone on there, and it works to have a female lead. Again, just look at the greatest example of all, the Alien films. Whenever you had the Ripley character on there, the reason why having women on a huge female lead role, if not the star of the film, works is because if it's a woman, then you have guys rooting for her to make sure that she's safe. And then for the women, it's understanding that whatever she's feeling on the scene is much more relatable than if it's a guy on there. So it definitely can work. So what are your thoughts? What do you think? Is this a merit? Is the Godzilla film sexist, as according to what others are stating on the internet? And what do you guys think about the idea that at one point the film was actually going to be, if not a female lead altogether, it would have incorporated at least a very large female lead role on there? Interesting stuff to debate and talk about. So please share your thoughts, share your comments below. So alright everybody, thanks again as always, take care.